Hey, it's Gavin here, and I talk about all things automations and integrations. And what I wanted to talk about today is what is an API? Like, I'm sure you've heard that terminology before, and obviously to me, it's very obvious, but I realized after I had a client reach out to me, someone I was working with, and they had a bit of coding background. They had done a bit of coding before, worked on some stuff, but they said to me, like, how would you define an API? And I realized these things aren't so obvious to everyone. Like, I'm sure you've seen the terminology, you've seen it mentioned here and mentioned there, but maybe you were like, okay, I kind of get it, but I'm not so sure, or this actually kind of just makes no sense to me. So today I'm just going to quickly talk about what is an API actually, and just set that groundwork, set that baseline, and then that's something to be able to build off. So, what is an API? Let's jump right into it. So, an API is basically a collection of actions and things you can do with a system that the company or whoever's offering the system allows you to do from basically a set of URLs. So it's not the perfect 100% correct way to explain it, and I'll probably have a few technical people come to me with pitchforks, but that is the easiest way to think about it. Is an API is a collection of URLs, and each URL lets you do a specific action in a system or to get something out of the system. So let's think of an example in case of like a library. So let's say you go to a library, you walk up to the counter. Let's say the counter is the API. Now you're in the API, you're interacting with the API, and you say to the librarian, I want to see if you have a book. So with an API, that would have one specific URL, and that would already be one action or option available from the API is, let me see if you have a book. So you say to her, or him or her, I want a book. They're going to be like, well, which book do you want? So already you need to say, okay, I want a book with this specific name. So already some API actions, some of the URLs that you're trying to use of that API, they're going to need additional information from you. So in this case, it would be you need to pass along or tell them the book name, and then from there, they're going to be able to give you the availability of the book, or if they have the book, or information about the book. So that's already an important lesson. Is the API is going to have a collection of all these different actions and things available to you at a specific URL, but at times, some of those, you're going to have to give them additional information so you can actually do that thing you need to either get the information out of the system or to do something in their system. You're going to often need to give them something a bit additional. They're going to need requirements from you. So just another example, still in the library context, say you now come and you want to renew a book. So this is, you're going to be making changes on their system. So you come in and you say, I want to renew my book. The librarian's like, well, firstly, who are you, and which book? So here you see there's going to be two requirements needed. It is, well, firstly, who you are. So my name is Gavin, and then the book is, I've got this book. So then they're going to be able to go into their system, look up the book, well, look up you, and see if you've got a subscription to that book, or you've rented out that book, and they're going to be, okay, cool, I can extend your rental, or, oh, you don't even have the book rented, like, what's going on here? Are you lying to me? So that is basically the simplest explanation of what an API is. An API is a collection of different actions and things you can do with a system or get out of a system. And for each of those, have a specific URL to do each of those things. And each of those may or may not have specific requirements of things you need to give them to allow them to finish doing that action or to give you that information that you want out of that API. So I hope that explanation resonates well with you. And I really like using almost like real world use cases to kind of explain things in simpler terms. I hope that was useful and look forward to chatting soon. And that's me.